So good morning everyone, we are the group 1 and we are doing the experiment number 7 which is entitled Determination of Time Setting of Concrete using Vicat Needle and Gillmore Apparatus. So I am Keziah Zerna and I am here with
Vinz, Racines,
Alge, Khristian B, Guia.
and Hertz, Pagaran.
So for the materials that we're going to use a cement and also water. And for the lab equipments, first the Gillmore apparatus, the Gillmore needle, glass plate, 2 needles, thick and thin, the Vicat apparatus, and Vicat apparatus conical needle.
For base making, here we have bowl, trowel, generated cylinder, weighing scale, and a spatula.
For the procedures, first is to prepare cement paste by mixing cement and water. The cement used is Portland cement, type 1. Place cement paste in conical mold. Next is to check and record the value of penetration every 15 minutes in a 3-hour span of time. And lastly, stop recording when the needles per apparatus won't penetrate anymore. We are now preparing the cement by weighing it first.
Now, we're going to start mixing the cement with water.
after preparing the cement, we shall leave it for 30 minutes.
So right now they are going to put this mixture into this mold.
So now we're going to put the mold into these apparatuses to test it.
For the Gillmore apparatus, it reached to its maximum point.
So now we are currently doing the penetration test of the and we are waiting for the next. In this experiment, for the cement paste, we used a Portland cement type 1, and for the value of cement that was used is 0.70 kilograms, and we also used a 200 millimeters of water. So for the Vicat thin needle apparatus, the time at which water is added to the cement is 9:34 a.m. and its time of initial setting reading is 10:20 a.m. and its time of final setting reading is 12:35 p.m. So these are the results of the time setting test process for every 15 minutes. And for the calculations for the Vicat thin needle apparatus, the initial setting and final time setting, we subtract the time of initial and final setting reading to the time the water is added to the cement. And we got the values of 46 minutes for the initial time setting and 181 minutes for the final time setting. And here we have the Vicat thick needle apparatus. So the time at which water is added to the cement is also 9:34 a.m. and for its time of initial setting reading is 10:20 a.m. and for its time of final setting reading is 11:50 a.m. So these are the results of its time setting test process for every 15 minutes. And for its calculations, we also subtract the time of initial and final setting reading to the time the water is added to the cement. So we also have the values of 46 minutes for its initial time setting and 136 minutes for the final time setting. So for the Gillmore needle apparatus, the time at which water is added to the cement is 9:34 a.m. and its time of initial setting reading is 10:20 a.m. and its time of final setting reading is 11:05 a.m. So these are the results of the time setting test process, wherein for the first 15 minutes it already reached its maximum point since the above point of the needle did not reach the surface, and we repeated it for 3 times in different parts of the surface for verification. So for its calculation, the initial time setting and the final time setting was subtracted to the time the water is added to the cement. So we also have the 46 minutes value of its initial time setting, and for the final time setting, we got 91 minutes. So these are the results of the overall calculations per apparatus or per method. And we started the time setting test process simultaneously in every apparatus and used the same cement paste, which is why the initial time setting is the same, and we got the value of 46 minutes. For the Vicat needle apparatus, the thin one, we got the final time setting of 181 minutes and 136 minutes for the Vicat thick needle apparatus. And for the Gillmore needle apparatus, we got the final time setting of 91 minutes. In relation to the standards from ASTM C191 for the Vicat test and ASTM C266 for the Gillmore test, both thick and thin needle from Vicat needle apparatus met the standard, since the standard of time of setting for Vicat test is not less than 45 minutes and not more than 375 minutes. Wherein for thin needle in Vicat apparatus, we got values of 46 minutes for its initial time setting and 181 minutes for its final time setting. And for the thick needle, the initial time setting is the same, which is 46 minutes, and a final setting of 136 minutes. Thereby, both type of needle met the standard. And as for the Gillmore apparatus, it did not meet the standard, since we only got a value of 46 minutes for its initial time setting and 91 minutes for its final time setting, whereas in the standard, the initial set must not be less than 60 minutes and not more than 600 minutes.